I see you. Hey Garden Maters, welcome to Corner Homestead. So I am finally back into the kitchen and I need to get my canning started. Got to get my pantry stocked for the winter, running low on quite a bit of things. So I got a pretty good deal on some carrots, and today I'm going to be doing some maple glazed carrots. They're going to be a great addition to the pantry shelf. They can't be any easier to do, but of course I want to share it with you because it just might intrigue you to put up some maple glazed carrots. So let's get started. So most people, when they do maple glazed carrots, will follow the recipe where it is 2 cups of sugar to 2 cups of water to 1 cup of maple syrup. I don't like to use all of that sugar, so I'm going to use the other method that calls for the maple syrup still, but you're using a lot more water than you would any sugar. Some people will use regular white sugar, some people use brown sugar. The recipe is adaptable, and the only thing I am saying is whatever you do, make it your own. There is no right or wrong to this recipe. If you like it with the brown sugar, put in brown sugar. If you don't, put in white sugar. If you don't want any sugar, just use the maple syrup. I'll be putting a little bit in today of brown sugar, but basically the recipe is so easy. No matter how you do it, make it your own. So in my this is the largest bowl that I could actually find. So in this bowl I have 7 pounds of carrots. I have washed them, peeled them, washed them again, and then cut them into about one and a half size chunks. If I thought they were too large, I cut them in half. Again, basically you want to cut your carrots however you like. So you can slice your carrots, you can just make them into longer sticks. Any size or shape you want, that's how you're going to do your carrots. However you like to eat them, and as long as they fit in the jar. Gotta make sure they fit in the jar. So the size jars you use are also going to be up to you. I'm just going to use pint-sized jars. If you want to use quarts, that's okay too. Whatever size your family desires. Now back to the carrots. Why did I wash them, peel them, wash them again, chop them up, and then wash them again? Because it's a root vegetable. All root vegetables, your carrots, your turnips, your potatoes, radishes, anything like that, a root vegetable that grows in the dirt, USDA does suggest that you wash your vegetables very well before you peel them. Then wash them again. I just went ahead and washed them for a 3rd time, but you do want to wash, peel, wash again. That is the USDA recommendation because it is lowering the risk of any botulism. So please wash, peel, wash again. Okay, so in this pot I have my 6 cups of water already put in. I'm going to turn on the burner. I'm not going to put the flame very high. I just want to make it kind of like a medium type flame, low to medium. So I have a 1/2 cup of very packed brown sugar. I'm going to add this into the water. And again, use brown sugar if you like. If not, that is okay. You don't have to put it in. So I have my 100% pure maple syrup. Go ahead and whisk that in just a little bit. Now the syrup, a 1/2 cup of the maple syrup. I want to whisk it very well so that I can get it all incorporated. Ground ginger calls for 2 teaspoons. I'm just going to add 1. Just because I like the ginger, but I don't want it to overpower the carrots. I'd rather taste the maple syrup. So just 1 teaspoon of ginger. If you want to add 2, feel free. Now we need 4 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar. I'm going to put in 2 teaspoons of canning salt. Now if you don't have the canning salt, then you want to use non-iodized salt. You don't just want regular iodized table salt. Make sure it's non-iodized if you don't have canning. And again, 2 teaspoons. So you just want it to blend very well, and you want it to come to not a boil, but when it just starts to simmer and it's hot, that's when we're going to turn it off. But I just want to keep whisking to be sure that the flavors are very well incorporated. So while that's getting hot, I'm going to move on to packing the carrots. Okay, so when you do this recipe, it calls for the 4 pounds of carrots. I think I forgot to mention that earlier. 4 pounds of carrots will usually get you about 7 pints of carrots. So because I have 7 pounds of carrots, I'm not sure exactly how many jars I'm going to get, but we're going to start filling them up and see what we get. You want to fill them within the 1-inch headspace. Feel free to give them a little push, but you want to make sure they're packed in there well enough that you've got a good amount of carrots without going past the 1-inch headspace. Okay, so I've got them all filled with the carrots, and 7 pounds of carrots ended up giving me 12 complete jars, pint-sized jars of carrots. So now the broth is, or the liquid is already warm, very nice and warm. We're going to go ahead and fill them up to the 1-inch headspace. Once you get liquid in, you want to be sure to debubble. And yes, I made a heck of a mess. This is not going to go down. I think it's going to be, yeah, it'll be all right. Debubble. Add more liquid to the jars after debubbling. Fill it back up if you need to without going past that 1-inch headspace. Okay, once you debubble everything, we want to clean the rims very well. Now I like to just take a paper towel with a little bit of vinegar on it. Because this is a sticky syrup, you want to be sure everything is cleaned very well before you put on your lids and your bands. I always like to go around mine more than once, just a habit. So make sure they are just as clean as they possibly can be. And not just the rims, but you also want to get around the edges, get those, make sure all those ridges are clean so you'll get a better seal. Put on the lids. I have a mixture of jars. Some are wide mouth, some are regular. Put on the bands. Finger tight only, please don't over tighten. These 7 are ready for the canner. I will process these 7 a while. The remaining 5 I will have to make some more liquid for. So in my canner, I've already got it filled with 2 quarts of water along with 2 tablespoons of vinegar. Don't forget the vinegar. Keeps that nasty scale off your jars. These are only semi-warm, not too hard to handle. Go ahead and get them in. Okay, before you put on your lid, as always, please do your quality checks Make sure your seal is good. Make sure you can see through that vent hole. I see you. Which I can see through. It is clear. The gasket is very well placed in there. No cracks, no chips. Everything looks good, so it's okay to put on your lid. If you can't see through that hole, or if your gasket is bad, please don't use your canner until you get that corrected. Put on the lid, press it down as you turn to seal it. You want to wait till you have full steam coming out of your vent and then time it for 10 minutes. Okay, so this has been steaming now for 10 minutes and I'm going to put on my weight. I have a 10-pound weight. The weight is going to depend on your elevation. So 10 pounds of pressure and on goes the weight. So pretty quickly the lock on it popped up, which is great. Now it is going to build the pressure. As soon as my weight starts to jiggle, I want to keep it jiggling. But once it starts to jiggle, I'm going to process these for 25 minutes. If you're using quart jars, you would process for 30 minutes. So once it jiggles, we'll set our timer. Okay, so it has been 25 minutes that they processed. I let the pot come down from pressure, just took off the weight, and now we're going to open it up and see how they turned out. As always, this pot is still extremely hot inside, a lot of steam still. And when you open the lid, be sure to tilt it away from your face. You don't want that to hit you in the face, trust me. So let's open it, see how they turned out. I can smell them and they smell really good. Ooh. Look at that steam. Ooh, look at that. Oh, they look beautiful. So there you have it, garden maters, an easy way of making maple ginger glazed carrots. Now, if you are not a fan of ginger, you can use cinnamon, or you can use nutmeg, or you can just use some pumpkin pie spice and put a little of that in there instead. There are so many different variations to making maple glazed carrots in general. Like I said at the beginning of this video, the tastes are all going to depend on what you and your family like. You customize it just to your benefit. My motto, make it your own. So I will post the recipe in the description box that I used on this video today. But I hope you give it a try no matter how you make it. If you have never made maple glazed carrots before, I think you will be pleasantly surprised at how well they taste. So if you enjoyed the video, I hope you give it a like, give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already subscribed, I hope you take the time to do so. Love to have you as part of the community, love to watch the garden maters grow. So until next time, I love y'all, take care, God bless, and I'll see you on the next video. So let me tell you a funny story that's not so funny about how quick the inflation is still going on. Just about 2 to 3 weeks ago, I had bought the bottle of maple syrup, just like this, exactly like this, from the same store. This came from Aldi. And at the time, I paid $4.83 for that bottle of maple syrup. Bought it purposely for doing these carrots. Brought it home, put it away, and I cannot find it to save my soul. I have looked over this entire house and I cannot find the bottle of maple syrup. So I had to go back to Aldi to buy this bottle of maple syrup. Within just that short few weeks time, this has been raised to $5.24. But yet they're saying things are still coming down. So within 2 to 3 weeks time, this went up about 41 cents. It's a good thing These carrots are so good. Just to give you that little bit of info. There it is, my public service announcement for the day. True story.